99% of seniors have no idea they are doing this. One common leg exercise used in therapy rooms, gyms, and even senior centers is quietly destroying your strength. It looks safe and feels easy, but it is accelerating muscle loss, wrecking joint stability, and setting your knees and hips up for a slow, silent failure. You are losing leg strength right now and you do not even know it. There is one exercise, one innocent move that is secretly tearing apart your muscles. It is not painful and does not even feel wrong, but it is accelerating muscle loss by up to 28%. In adults over 60, a study from the Journal of Aging found it caused a 28% faster decline in quadricep strength in just 6 months. Another study showed a 41% drop in lower limb muscle density in people who relied on this move. This is the muscle density that keeps you upright and walking. It gets worse. Seniors who performed this exercise daily were twice as likely to fall within a year. The real shocker is that it is still recommended as a safe alternative for aging bodies. But the science indicates it is one of the worst things you can do. The most common version of this exercise could double your risk of knee degeneration after the age of 65. This is not fear-mongering. It is real, published research, and it is quietly wrecking your legs. This video will expose the most dangerous leg move that nearly everyone does, and what it is really doing to your body. The information in this video is backed by real science. We have spent hours digging through peer-reviewed research, and every single reference is linked in the description below. Before we dive in, comment below with a supposedly safe leg move you do that might actually be hurting you. Let's get into the truth, starting now. Number 7 is the seated leg press. I know what you are thinking. Isn't this what they use in rehab clinics? Yes, but that is exactly the problem. Just because it shows up in therapy centers does not make it safe for you, especially if you are over 60 and trying to protect your knees, hips, and back. The seated leg press might look like a controlled, supportive movement, but it is secretly loaded with hidden dangers most people never realize until it is too late. Let's talk about what actually happens when you sit in that machine. You lean back, your hips are locked, your spine is compressed, and now you are pushing heavy weight through a rigid, unnatural path. You are not standing, stabilizing, or engaging your glutes or core. You are just letting your knees do all the work, and they were not designed to carry that load on their own. A 2019 study in the Orthopedic Journal of Sports Medicine found that 34% of gym-related knee injuries in seniors were linked directly to poor form on the leg press machine. That is 1 in 3 injuries, many of which resulted in long-term joint instability. In some cases, surgery followed, while in others, the pain simply never fully went away. The real danger is that most users lock their knees at the top of the movement. That force does not just stop, it rebounds straight into your cartilage and your lower spine. This creates microtrauma, which consists of tiny internal injuries that build up over weeks and months. You might not feel it now, but 6 months later, your knees ache when climbing stairs or your lower back feels off after standing too long. It is not age, it is damage. Here is something most people miss. The angle of the machine changes the direction of the force. It pushes you back and upward, not just away. That means you are combining axial spinal compression with extreme knee flexion. Your discs hate that. Your joints hate that. And over time, your mobility suffers. To fix this, if you insist on using the leg press, strip the weight way down. Do not chase big numbers. Focus on slow, controlled movement. Never let your knees cave inward, and always keep a slight bend at the top. Better yet, ditch the machine entirely. Switch to bodyweight wall sits, or assisted squats using a sturdy chair behind you. These activate your stabilizers and simulate real-life movement without crushing your spine or stressing your knees unnaturally. Let's move to something that looks even safer but might be worse. Number 6 is walking lunges with added weight. This one fools almost everyone. Walking lunges look like a professional move. You are stepping with control, using your balance and engaging multiple muscle groups. Add a pair of dumbbells or a barbell on your back and you feel like you are doing something serious. You are, just not in the way you think. The reality is that you are putting massive asymmetric stress on your knees and hip flexors. The American Journal of Sports Medicine released a study in 2021 showing that weighted lunges increased patellar tendon strain by 39% compared to bodyweight versions. That is a huge spike, especially if your knees are already vulnerable. When you lunge forward with heavy weight, your front knee often travels too far past your toes. That shifts all the pressure to your patellar tendon, which is the connective tissue just below your kneecap. That is the same tendon that often tears in athletes, but in seniors, it weakens more subtly. Overuse, stiffness, and a deep ache after exercise are the early signs, and most people ignore them. Now, add this to the mix. If you have poor hip mobility, which most seniors do, your form will suffer even more. You will twist your pelvis, round your back, or wobble side to side trying to compensate. every step becomes a risk. So, how do you adjust? Stop walking with weight. Try static lunges where you stay in one place and lower yourself with control. Even better, do reverse lunges where you step backward instead of forward. This protects your knees by keeping your center of gravity behind your body. Leave the weights on the rack. Unless you are already pain-free and experienced, your legs do not need ego lifting. They need safe, smart mechanics, and nothing smart ever starts with a strained knee. Let's get even sneakier with number 5. Over-wheeling on recumbent bikes. You have seen them, the big, comfortable machines with wide seats and backrests. You sit down, stretch your legs forward, and start pedaling like you are relaxing on a patio. It feels safe and smooth, but it is a comfort trap with a hidden cost. Recumbent bikes were designed for short-term rehab, not as a long-term solution for leg strength or cardio conditioning, yet they are everywhere, from physical therapy centers to retirement community gyms. Why? Because they feel senior-friendly, but that does not make them effective. A 2020 study in Clinical Interventions in Aging found that seniors who used recumbent bikes as their primary form of exercise showed 22% less improvement in leg strength and lower body power compared to those who used upright bikes. That is nearly a quarter of your progress gone. What is happening here? Your body in a recumbent bike is in a passive position. Your glutes are shut down, your core is collapsed, and your hamstrings barely fire. The result is muscle imbalance. Your quads may do some work, but the posterior chain, which is the engine of walking, balance, and stair climbing, gets weaker and weaker over time. This leads to poor posture, gait problems, and even an increased fall risk. You are putting in the time, but you are not getting the return. If you absolutely need low-impact cardio, switch to an upright stationary bike. Sit tall, keep your abs engaged, and adjust your seat so your knee almost straightens at the bottom of the pedal. If you can handle it, throw in short 30-second intervals every few minutes. That alone can improve strength, circulation, and endurance. Recumbent bikes feel good, but they give back very little, and you deserve more. Now it is time to move into more dangerous territory. Number 4 is deep squats with poor ankle mobility. Deep squats are hailed as the king of leg exercises, and they can be. However, if your ankles are tight, as many seniors' ankles are, this movement goes from powerful to punishing fast. In 2018, the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research found that limited ankle dorsiflexion, which is your ankle's ability to bend upward, increased the risk of knee valgus by 45% during squats. Knee valgus is the inward collapse of your knees, and it is a shortcut to meniscus damage, ligament stress, and cartilage breakdown. The thing is, you might not feel that your ankles are tight. You just think squats hurt your knees. You avoid them, or you do them anyway and push through the discomfort. If you cannot keep your heels flat on the ground when squatting, or if your knees shoot forward, you likely have a dorsiflexion problem. That means your body will compensate somewhere, usually the knees and sometimes the hips. Either way, you lose. How do you fix this? Start by testing. Kneel next to a wall, place your big toe a few inches away, and try to touch your knee to the wall without lifting your heel. If you cannot do it, you have got work to do. Begin foam rolling your calves, stretching your Achilles, and using a heel lift for support during squats. If you insist on going deep, widen your stance, slow down your tempo, and use a box squat variation to control the depth safely. Deep squats are not bad, but doing them on a faulty foundation will wreck your knees. Protect your joints by fixing the root, not just adjusting the surface. Ready to climb higher. Number 3 is using stair stepper machines with shallow steps. This one hides in plain sight. The stair stepper looks like a cardio powerhouse. You are climbing, sweating, and working your legs. Or are you? In reality, most people cheat on this machine. They take tiny, shallow steps, lean forward, and grip the rails like their life depends on it. Just like that, a powerful tool becomes a leg strength killer. A 2022 study in gait and posture found that users taking shallow steps on showed 31% less glute activation and 27% more knee strain than those doing full, deliberate steps. That is a recipe for disaster. Why does this happen? Because small steps do not activate the full chain of your leg muscles? You skip the glutes, shorten your hamstrings, and dump pressure straight onto your knees, specifically the patellar tendon. Over time, this leads to pain just below the kneecap, stiffness, and sometimes chronic inflammation. The solution is to take slow, full steps. Let your heel drop just slightly to activate your glutes and lengthen the movement. Do not lean on the rails. Use your arms for balance, not support. If your knees already hurt, skip the machine entirely. Try step-ups on a platform instead, or climb real stairs where your body naturally engages more muscle groups. This machine can work for you or against you. It is all in how you use it. And now we enter the red alert zone. Number 2 is the classic leg extension machine. It is in almost every gym with rows of them that are easy to spot. You sit down, tuck your ankles under a padded bar, and kick forward to lift the weight. Simple, right? Wrong? This is one of the most deceptive machines in existence and one of the most dangerous for seniors. You are isolating your quadriceps in a seated position. That may sound good in theory, but the reality is brutal. You are loading your knees with unnatural torque, forcing them to move in a way they are not built to handle without support from the rest of your leg muscles. A 2020 study in the Journal of Biomechanics found that the leg extension creates up to 300% more anterior tibial shear force than functional movements like squats. That is a massive amount of forward pressure on your shin bone, and your knee joint is the only thing resisting it. That kind of force stresses your ACL, wears down cartilage, and grinds your kneecap into the joint underneath, causing long-term damage that creeps in slowly and silently. Most people do not realize anything is wrong until it hurts to walk, get out of a car, or bend their knee. What makes it worse is that people crank up the weight, believing that more resistance means more results. But more weight in this position means more damage, especially if your form is off, which it often is. This is a machine-only skill, meaning it strengthens you in a way your body never actually uses in daily life. You are not learning to stand, walk, climb stairs, or balance. You are just getting stronger at sitting and kicking, a motion you never use functionally. A review published in Current Sports Medicine Reports found that over time, leg extensions lead to muscular imbalances and misfiring in movement patterns, especially in people over 55. That imbalance is a leading cause of falls. So, here is what to do instead. Train your quads the way they are meant to work, in cooperation with your glutes, hamstrings, and core. Try step-ups on a platform. Use a resistance band around your thighs during squats to improve activation and alignment. Do wall sits or try slow chair stand-ups with no hands. These movements not only build strength, but they also build coordination, balance, and real-world function. That is what protects your knees and keeps you walking. Machines may look sleek, but this one is a trap. It nearly topped the list, but not quite. Because now we arrive at the worst offender of them all. Number 1 is chair-based leg raises. It is gentle, easy, and taught in almost every senior exercise class. It is even prescribed in physical therapy routines for building leg strength. But do not let the simplicity fool you. Here's how it works. You sit in a chair, extend one leg straight, then lower it. Maybe you alternate, or maybe you do sets of 10. It feels like you are training your thighs. But let us look at what is actually happening behind the scenes and why this is at the very top of the danger list. A 2023 study in the Journal of Geriatric, those who relied on chair-based leg raises as their main leg movement lost 41% more muscle density in their thighs over 1 year compared to those who performed standing compound exercises. That is a 41% difference, the kind of muscle loss that leads to frailty, falls, and fractures. Why is it so bad? Because this movement isolates one muscle, the quadriceps, and shuts everything else down. Your glutes are not working, your hamstrings are off, and your core is completely disengaged. Your body is not learning to stabilize, balance, or move together as a system. This creates serious imbalances as your quads overdevelop while your posterior chain weakens. That imbalance does not just make you unstable, it makes you a fall risk. Let's be brutally honest, a fall after 65 is not just painful. It can be like, the CDC reports that over 300,000 seniors are hospitalized every year for hip fractures, and 95% of them are caused by falls. 1 in 3 never walk independently again. Chair leg raises lull you into a false sense of progress. You feel like you are doing something, but you are just reinforcing a dangerous pattern of isolated, uncoordinated movement. The fix is urgent and simple. Get up. Even standing mini squats using a kitchen counter for support. Train your legs far more effectively. Add wall sits, glute bridges, or even gentle toe taps while standing to start activating full chain muscles. If you absolutely must sit, make it dynamic. Do chair sit-to stands with control. Hold on to something for balance, but let your legs take the load. That is how you reawaken real strength. The truth is that strength is not about how much you can lift. It is about how well your body works together. That is what keeps you steady, protects your bones, and keeps you independent. This exercise might feel safe, but the numbers say otherwise. And those numbers do not lie. Let me be crystal clear. Every single one of these exercises might look safe on the surface. Some are even recommended by trainers or therapists, but that is the problem. They sneak into your routine without warning. They feel easy, gentle, and even smart, but under the hood, they are robbing your muscles of strength, stealing your stability, and setting you up for a slow, silent breakdown. I have seen it in hundreds of patients, people who thought they were doing the right thing, only to wake up one day with knees that will not bend, hips that will not hold, and a body that simply will not move like it used to. The scary truth is that muscle loss after age 60 accelerates every single year, a condition known as sarcopenia. Most people lose 3% to 8% of muscle mass per decade after 30. But if you do the wrong exercises, that loss speeds up dramatically. One wrong move repeated daily can trigger a chain reaction that leads to falls, fractures, and hospital stays. The fix is not doing nothing. The fix is choosing smarter. Choose movements that mimic real life, movements that engage your glutes, your hamstrings, your calves, and your core all at once. That is how you stay strong, how you keep walking, and how you keep living. Here is your action step. Pull out your phone and look at your current leg routine. Cut out anything from this list immediately. Replace it with compound, functional, low-impact exercises that train your whole leg system together. Use proper form and prioritize balance. Strength does not have to hurt, but it must be earned the right way. Finally, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below and tell me if you have ever done any of these exercises thinking they were helping. Or worse, are you still doing one now? Do not be shy. Sharing your story might save someone else from injury. If this video opened your eyes even a little, hit that like button right now. Subscribe for more science-backed health breakdowns that matter. I am not here to scare you. I am here to protect you. Your legs carry your life. Let's keep them strong. Let's keep you moving. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below. Thanks for watching.